are you? Good morning. Are you okay? Can you turn to the person next to you and just say a really cheery, positive good morning? Or, if you're watching this in the afternoon, can you say a really cheery good afternoon? Okay? Brilliant. Can you look at your adults in the classroom and can you say hello? Very good. Okay, so we've got today's assembly. Got lots of things to get through in today's assembly. I think it's going to be the most exciting one so far this year. So we've been talking about positivity and kindness, which are two of our Apache values. And we're going to be looking at all the Apache values today in our assembly. But before we do that, I would just like to say a huge, huge thank you to all our families, because they have been really kind in the last few weeks, and not just kind to us and the children here, but they have been kind to the whole community. So every Friday in October, we asked for families to be able to send in things for harvest collection, and that all went to the food bank, and we collected more than we've ever done before, which, given how we're all a little bit struggling a little bit at the moment, is absolutely amazing. And we've just heard back from them that we've provided enough for 267 meals, which is amazing. It's our best yet. And then last Friday, what happened last Friday? Can you remember? I seem to remember that lots and lots of children weren't wearing their uniform. No Pashley Green. I wonder why. Why weren't they wearing their uniform? Can you remember? That's right, it was children in need. So we did children in need, and we asked people to think of lots of ideas and send money in for non-uniform day. And loads of people did extra things. People did baking at home, people did sponsored events, and we collected all the money in from you guys, and money that staff donated as well. And do you know how much we raised? More than £500, more than £600, more than £700. I think in total it was £742. And then when that was closed, some more money came in on Monday. So don't know what the final total is. The last count was £742. Amazing. So thank you so much to all the Pashley families for being so generous and so kind. Real kindness koalas. Then on Friday we had a big ask from our Pashley families. We asked whether you could go home and whether you could make birds. Okay? And it was a bit of a last minute thing. We weren't sure that everybody would be able to do it, but we thought one or two people might do it. And you know what? We had over 150 birds that came in, and they all had different messages, and they all had different colours. So each class had a different colour. But can you remember, why did we ask you to make a bird at home? Anyone remember? It's part of a special project that we are involved with. So we are hoping that with 7 other schools in Eastbourne, we are going to send 800 birds to 10 Downing Street. Now, you might not know who lives at 10 Downing Street. But I'm just wondering, maybe some year 2 children might do. Anyone know who lives at 10 Downing Street? It's in London. Well, the person who lives at 10 Downing Street is the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, and he lives with his fiancée, Carrie, and their little boy, Wilfred, who's just a little baby, and they live there. And when something happens in the country, Boris Johnson is the guy who's in charge. Okay, so he's called the Prime Minister, and he can make change happen. Okay, so we thought, our 7 schools that we're working closely with, let's show Boris something amazing that happened 25 years ago. So we're sending this box of birds, okay, which I've got here, and they've got all different colours. Okay, so here's one here. Right, we're going to send them here, and then on these birds, okay, there's all different messages, and the messages are all about how we can save our planet, how we can save the ocean. So some people have drawn patterns on them, some people have put their names on them. Children in reception who have just started writing have spent a long time some of them doing mark making, some of them writing a whole sentence for the first time. We've got messages from all over Pashley, and these are some of the messages we've got. Okay, so I'm just going to read them out to you. And these are the messages that we're sending to Carrie, okay, Boris Johnson's fiancée, because she's probably got a little bit more time at the moment, although maybe not, you don't know, do you? Okay, so these are the messages, and the messages you put on your birds. Stop polluting the ocean. The world belongs to everyone. That's a very important one. Save the world by recycling. Plant more trees. Ban plastic bags and plastic straws. Save the ocean. Plastic is not fantastic. Don't waste our future. And the one that we've got here is reduce, reuse, recycle. And that's what our motto was when we were making the bottle greenhouse, wasn't it? And our year 2 children told us all about that in that fantastic video last week. So we've got lots of things. So why 800? Okay, because we've got about 270 children at Pashley. So 90 children in each year group. Okay, so 90 times 3, 270. Still got it, can still do a bit of maths. So why send 800? Well, 800 is a magic number. It starts with a story. 25 years ago, there was a fantastic big meeting called a conference. But before that had started much smaller. And there were a group of children of 15 children, and they were a little bit older than you, so they were between 10 and 12 years old. And they were children from all over the southeast, and they would get together and they would go to Drusilla's and they would have a meeting. And the people who owned Drusilla's at the time, I think they're called Michael and Kitty, they would gather up all the children, and the children would come up with lots of ideas, and ideas about how they could save the planet. And it was ideas that were local, it was ideas that were about our country, ideas about Europe, ideas about the world, all different things. And they came up with lots and lots of ideas, and they got really excited about it, and they really believed that they could make change happen. But they knew that they needed to involve more people. So gradually they came up with a plan, and the plan was a really, really big meeting. And what they did was, from all over the world, so this is our globe, which has got the world. So here we've got Europe, okay, so from all over the world, children were flown into England, into our town, okay? And there were 800 children that were flown all the way here. Now, some children in Europe, they travelled by car and they would have gone across the English Channel, and other children, so from America, from Africa, from Asia, from Australia, loads and loads of different places, they all came and they gathered. And it was a big conference, and it was a conference on different things that we could do in the future to help save the planet. And it was very exciting. And more people started to hear about it. They had letters from the Prime Minister, okay, who at that point was a man called John Major. They had a president from they had a letter from the Vice President of USA. So the USA is over here, okay, in the news a lot at the moment. And the Vice President sent a letter, and they both said, yes, we need to do more things to be able to save our planet. And it was all started by 15 children that would meet with the Drusilla's owners, and they would talk through their ideas. And children, so not adults, not grown-ups, and they made a massive, massive change. And we think 25 years later that we've done pretty well, but we could do even more. So we have been looking at different projects that we can do in Eastbourne, and we thought what was really important was to let the Prime Minister and his family know all about it, okay, because the Prime Minister has got children, and it's really important that the children have a voice for the future. Now, I think that's pretty exciting, okay, but how does that relate to us? Because some of you are 4. Put your hand up in your classroom if you're 4 years old, okay. Some of you are 5. Now that's the children who are in early years, and there might be some children in year 1. Put your hand up if you're 5. Okay. Anybody who's 6? our year ones and our year twos? Anybody at 6? And our oldest children in the school, 7. Very good. Now you might be sitting there and thinking, I'm only little. I haven't got a voice. I can't make change happen. But you can. Because you've shown by your fantastic birds, okay, and by writing on them, like this bird, reduce, reuse, recycle, save the ocean, okay? All these different birds have got different things, okay, that have written on them, and drawings and patterns, okay, and that every day that we can do things to help save the planet. And we think by sending these to 10 Downing Street, we're going to send a message to hopefully make Boris think, what else could he do? And what else could we do to help the country? Doesn't matter whether you're 4, 5, 6 or 7, okay? Doesn't matter how old you are, everybody can play a part. Now, I'm very excited about this. So the other thing that we thought that we could do would be to send to 10 Downing Street some of our Apache Values. And I was thinking, actually what we're doing today, what we're talking about today, doesn't relate to just one of our Apache Values, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. It relates to all 7 of them. So let's think about it. Who have we got in our Apache Values? Well, we've got the panda of positivity, okay? So it's a bit tricky to keep positive all the time, but we've talked about how we can look positive and how by smiling it makes us feel positive, makes us feel like we can do anything and we can achieve anything. We've got the equality elephant, and one of the birds in here that I've just had a look through says that it's everybody's responsibility and that everybody deserves to be able to have a better world and a safer world to live in. And that's what our equality elephant is all about. We've also got our penguin. Nearly lost him for a minute. The penguin of, can you remember? Penguin of, can I hear you? Yes, penguin of perseverance. And the penguin of perseverance means that we're not going to give up on persuading people all over the world that it's time to change and it's time to look after our world even better. Who else have we got? This is a tricky one. We often find this is the hardest one. The otter of honesty. How important it is to be honest, because sometimes we think we're doing enough, but we can do a little bit more, can't we? All of us. Children, teenagers, grown-ups, okay, it doesn't matter how old you are, you need to be honest with yourself. What else could you do personally to help save our planet? And then we've got, he was our latest one, wasn't he? We introduced last September. Who's this? The raccoon of resilience. And the raccoon of resilience basically says, do you know what? Sometimes things are hard. Things are tough, okay? But keep going. Dig deep. You can do it. Don't give up. And by working all together, it's really important because you're not going to give up. And then we have got the rhino of responsibility, okay, which he's over there sitting on my desk. So the rhino of responsibility, and the rhino of responsibility is the one that we're going to focus on this week in school, okay? But finally we've got this little fella. Can you remember what he's called? Yeah, the koala of kindness. And that's how we started the assembly, didn't we? Because the koala of kindness, okay, is all around us all the time, okay? And it's really, really important that all of us are kind to each other, but also we're kind to the world. And we're thinking about how we can be kind to the world. So we're really looking forward to hearing from Carrie, who we're sending the birds to. Okay, one of 7 schools in Eastbourne sending all these birds. And we're hoping to be able to hear back from him because we think he might like to be able to have one of our mascots for his little boy, just as a reminder in Wilfred's nursery about being a rhino of responsibility. So hopefully if we hear back, then we can send Wilfred a rhino he can put in his nursery and make put on the shelf. So on to the mascots. We have got lots of mascots to give out today, and we've got 2 sets. So we have got the yellow set that's going out today, and the green set's going to be collected in, and then my set that normally lives in here is going to go out as well. So we have got loads of mascots to give out today to year 1 and year 2. So are you ready to hear about who's going to have these? Brilliant. Okay, so positivity goes to Bonnie in Owls and to Kit in Foxes. Well done, those 2 people. Oh, look, and I've just spotted a third. Also to Poppy in Robins. Well done. Now, the equality elephant goes to Arthur in Owls. Well done, Arthur. And also to Oscar Searle in Woodpeckers. Well done, Oscar. The honesty otter. We were just talking about that, sometimes the hardest, but these are 2 children that are always honest and tell the truth and are really lovely and polite about it as well. Real diplomats, very important. So the honesty otters go to Maya in Badgers and to Oscar Stace in Owls. Well done. Then we have the koala of kindness, having a real focus on that at the moment, because being kind, remember, makes us feel really happy and warm inside, doesn't it? So well done to Sophia in Moles. And I'm going to double check on the other one, but I think it might just be one in kindness koala this week. And then we've got perseverance. The perseverance penguin is going to Olivia in Badgers and to Owen Thornton in Robins. Well done. Then we have the rhino of responsibility, and that is going to Quinton in Woodpeckers and James in Badgers. Well done, James. And then finally, we have got the raccoon of resilience, and the raccoon is going to Harry Carter. So well done, Harry. So lots of children. Some classes are getting more than 1, and I think a couple of classes are even getting 3, which is amazing. So I'm going to be popping along, and I'll be dropping those mascots up very carefully on your distancing dog mats, just at the side of your classrooms. So, lovely and exciting. Now, last week, some of you might have got kindness koala postcards from Mrs. Everson sent through the post. Can you put your hand up if you got a kindness koala postcard? Isn't that lovely? That the adults and the children around you are recognising what a kindness koala you are. So well done, you guys. And I have been sending some postcards about when we've been recognising when children have been really super positive. So do you remember those things to say positive? What were they? If you're at your desk, it's sitting up straight, it's having a smile on your face, it's saying a cheery good morning or a cheery good afternoon, and it's keeping positive and keeping really happy. But this week, we've got another focus. Can you remember what I said our focus is going to be? Which is the mascot. It's still going to be kindness, but for me, I'm going to be looking who to send these rhino of responsibility postcards to. So this is all about how we can be responsible, and I want you to really think about how can you be responsible in school. So how can you help us? What good ideas can you come up with? I know the school council have been meeting with Mrs. Everson and talking about different things that we could do and recycle and reduce and reuse even more in school. So maybe you could share some of your ideas, okay? Maybe it's just showing where do you put rubbish, which bin do you put it in. Have a think, okay, and see if you can show. And then some of those children, 3 from every class, I'm hoping to be able to send some of these postcards to. Now, before I go, we mustn't forget our lovely early years. And we've got a few children to read out for early years who are getting the Panda positivities and the koala of kindness. And in Squirrel's class, that's Jack Bateman. In Hedgehog's class, it's Harrison A. In Rabbit's class, it's Cody. They are all going to get pandas to look after this week. And kindness koalas this week in early years, we have got Maddox and Jack in Hedgehogs and Ophelia in Rabbits. So that's pretty fantastic. So apologies, it's a slightly longer assembly this week. I hope you can understand why. Lots of things to talk about, lots of thank yous to give to you guys for making such a difference and being so kind to our planet and to our country and to our town and to our school and to each other, because you can be kind in lots of ways. So have a fantastic day, and I am looking forward to seeing you very soon. Take care. Bye.